Welcome to D&D Daily English, episode 29 for May 28th, 2026. I'm Dan, joining you from the States.
And I'm Daphne, tuning in from the UK. Today's story is quite serious, a fatal incident at Denver International Airport that has raised real questions about airport security.
So here's what happened. Late on a Friday night, a person jumped over a fence at Denver International Airport, crossed a runway, and was struck and killed by a Frontier Airlines plane that was beginning takeoff. The plane was heading to Los Angeles.
The pilots reacted quickly and aborted, that means stopped, the takeoff. But sadly, it was too late to avoid the collision. 12 other people on board were injured during the emergency stop.
Now let's look at today's vocabulary. First word, perimeter. That means the outer edge of an area, like a border. The airport has 36 miles of perimeter fence. That's enormous.
Second word, breach. To breach something means to break through a barrier. In British English, we might say someone broke through the fence. Either way, this person crossed a boundary they were not supposed to cross.
Abort. The pilots aborted the takeoff, meaning they stopped it midway. You might also hear this in sports or even everyday life, like, we had to abort the picnic because it started raining. Same idea.
Fourth, surveillance. That refers to cameras or systems used to watch an area. The airport uses surveillance cameras along its perimeter. In the UK, we call them CCTV cameras, closed-circuit television. Americans tend to just say security cameras.
And fifth, incursion. This one sounds fancy, but it just means an unwanted entry into a place. Experts say pedestrian incursions at airports, people walking onto runways, are extremely rare, between 0 and 5 per year on average nationwide.
Which brings us to an important point. While this incident is deeply tragic, experts are clear that it is an exceptionally rare event. Professor William Rankin, who studies airport safety, stated it should not make the public less confident in major U.S. airports.
Right, and I think that's worth saying clearly. Flying is still incredibly safe, but this story does shine a light on how hard it is to secure a massive airport. Denver International is 53 square miles, larger than the entire city of San Francisco. I mean, think about that.
It is rather staggering. The more land an airport covers, the more fence there is to monitor, and the more difficult it becomes to detect an intrusion quickly. Denver has 36 miles of perimeter fencing. That is no small task to inspect continuously.
And this isn't the first time someone has crossed the fence at Denver. Between 2004 and 2015, 8 people breached the perimeter, some by accident, some not. One guy drove through the fence after drinking too much. Another said he was just trying to get to work. Wild.
It does illustrate that the airport is so large it can resemble open farmland in places. People may not even realize they're on airport property. That said, ignorance of the boundary does not make it less dangerous.
Absolutely. And similar tragedies have happened at other airports. In 2020, a man was killed by a jet at Austin Airport in Texas. In 2023, a man was found inside a Delta engine at Salt Lake City. These incidents remind us that runways are extremely dangerous places.
From a security standpoint, the FAA, that's the Federal Aviation Administration, recommends fencing that is at least 6 to 8 feet tall, made of chain link with barbed wire on top. However, taller fences become very expensive very quickly.
And here's something interesting. The TSA, which is the Transportation Security Administration, doesn't actually require airports to use perimeter intrusion detection systems. Those are high-tech sensors that can tell you when someone is trying to climb the fence. Not mandatory.
which suggests there may be room for stronger requirements.
Denver says it uses a combination of technology to monitor its fencing, but the investigation is ongoing. The airport has promised a full incident analysis in the coming days.
So, what can listeners take away from this? First, flying is still very safe. Second, securing a massive airport is genuinely difficult. And third, incidents like this, though rare, push authorities to look hard at their systems and ask, what can we do better?
Precisely. It is a reminder that safety is not a fixed state. It requires constant review, investment, and improvement. Denver Airport and airports across the country will be watching this investigation closely.
All right, that wraps up today's episode. A tough but important story, and a good reminder to pay attention to safety infrastructure, even when it's working quietly in the background.
If today's episode was useful to you, please do like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It truly helps us reach more learners. Your support encourages us, and we promise to keep refining and bringing you better content every episode.
Keep learning, keep growing, and we'll see you next time.